Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Africa Speaks. My Twitter handle is @JoyDorinBira, and you can also follow the show using our Twitter handle, that is @KTN Africa Speaks. Now, this has been a week marked with attacks around the region, including Tanzania, Uganda and coastal Kenya. But on a positive note, Africa's first Nobel Prize winner, Wole Soyinka, turns 80 years old tomorrow, and Web City is capturing all of that for us.
It is a desperate attempt to stay alive. The women and children here hoping to save themselves from attackers who are said to be mainly armed with machetes and spears. They've killed security personnel and civilians in the western part of Uganda. Over 90 people are dead, among them attackers and security officers. It is an attack that has shocked Ugandans, with President Yoweri Museveni blaming what he called sectarian and chauvinistic cultural leaders for the attack. He says the killing are the result of schemes of some confused or selfish bunch of people. According to security officials, a group of people in the Rwenzori region carried out coordinated attacks against security forces and civilians. Altogether, they carried out 13 daylight attacks in 3 districts.
Whatever the reasons they may advance, they could not justify the kind of tragic events that they caused to the people of this region.
We need to understand this as a new ideology, a new phenomenon that is emerging in the Rwenzori. We need to understand this as a new fundamentalist group. Because come to think about it, what energy would you have to walk with a knife to attack a military installation?
Several people in Rwenzori have now fled their homes in fear of more attacks, whose motive remains unknown. Many have taken refuge in camps, hoping that the security personnel will arrest the attackers and end the killings. Hundreds have been arrested, including cultural leaders of rival ethnic groups in Rwenzori Mountains region and in the oil-rich Lake Albert region bordering the Democratic Republic of Congo. High numbers of new cases of the Ebola virus are being reported in Sierra Leone and Liberia, with 19 deaths over 3 days this week. The United Nations World Health Organization says such figures showed that it was a race against time to control the epidemic in Sierra Leone, and medical charity MSF has also added. In total, there have been 539 deaths in West Africa since the outbreak began in neighbouring Guinea in February this year. Regional leaders have now agreed to set up a fund to combat its spread. Nigerian Wole Soyinka, the first African to win the Nobel Prize for Literature, is turning 80. A recurring theme in his work is opposition to dictatorship and to the use of force in his homeland and elsewhere. His trade is literature, but that doesn't prevent Wole Soyinka, who turns 80 on Sunday, the 13th, from expressing his views even on political matters. Born in Aboekuta, southwest Nigeria, in 1934, Africans around the world have drawn inspiration from Wole Soyinka.
Professor Wole Soyinka is really important to me because he is the father of African literature, as we know, and one of the most basic things I was taught in school about literature is how to put your emotions and things you do into the work you do, and it's very reflective in all of Wole Soyinka's works, not just his emotions, what he stands for, what he believes in, and it has helped the country in many ways. I wish him a very happy birthday, and I hope that the legacy he has left behind will continue to increase and help many people and help the country to continue to grow, and that he would be happy to look at the country always.
I see him as the face of humanity, someone who I look up to, who fight against corrupt governments and things like that, who supports humanity, and he had this thing, he knows how to move, how to make others speak up.
Well, happy birthday to the man whose writings have not only inspired many, but have grown vocabulary of millions across Africa. I remember reading the beatification of the area boy, published in 1995, and it has its settings in Lagos, Nigeria. It centers around a syndicate headed by one Sanda, who is a university dropout, who is quite smart and has the ability to think fast on his feet. It's a very fantastic read if you get yourself that book. Now, President Kagame of Rwanda has since taken power back decades ago, has emphasized that Rwandan citizens make an effort to learn and speak English language to be able to fit more with the East African community. Well, now, there's this one musician going by the name Daniel, who in a song tells us just how much English he has so far learned, and he also puts this not just in the English language. You know, when you listen to this song that you're just about to watch, you'd actually think it's in Rwandese or in one of the Rwandan languages. But then if you listen very carefully, you notice it's English language. So take a look at this video and let me know what you think.
Because I love eroto. Wicked people there. Why did she disappoint me? Did I ever do something bad to her? I will be happy when I see her. When I see her, she took away my heart, she took away my soul, and even my knowledge. I wish she could come back, and in the wave I need peace. I will do something. I will be happy when I see her. I will go and look for her. I will not fear the night or the fears, and even the rebels. I will rest when I'm there. Igasore ndi mute. I will rest when I'm there. Inibuta sinda. I will.
Well, there we go. And you're actually not so sure if you're listening to English or, you know, because it sounds almost like the Rwandan language. Well, it's an interesting song. If you want to check it out, it's about 4 minutes or 4 minutes and 25 seconds. If you want to check out the whole song, you can type into YouTube, search on YouTube, "Why Did She Lie to Me?" and you'll be able to have a good laugh, aside from enjoying the Rwandan track background right there. Now, of course, today we'd love to put some attention on some of the killings in Western Uganda, and we've been trying to get a hold of the government spokesman via phone, but we're just not so sure whether the networks are going right, but we've been trying to make some phone calls to Uganda right there. But in a press statement passed through Uganda Media Center, President Yoweri Museveni has attributed the massive killings in the Rwenzori region in Uganda to cultural grit, and members of parliament hailing from the Rwenzori region have now called for special investigations into the causes of the ongoing killings in Bundibujo, Kasese and Toroko districts, as majority cast doubt on whether killings were instigated by tribal clashes. Over 100 people, including attackers, policemen, civilians and soldiers, have died, and 125 suspects have been detained, and the members of parliament are now compelling government to prevail prevail over the situation to prevent more deaths and address land wrangles that are partly blamed for accelerating conflict in the region. And the woman member of parliament for Kasese district, Winfred Kiza, dismissed the army and police consistent assertion that the killings were as a result of the ongoing tribal clashes, adding that she cannot rule out aspects of a looming ADF attack because security has been warning people about a looming attack. And also another conspiracy is that the attackers are widely believed to be part of the Allied Democratic Forces, an on and off rebel movement that has been fighting President Museveni's government periodically over the years. And so we've been trying to get a hold of the Uganda government spokesman, that is Ofono Pondo, but his lines seem to be having a network issue. But well, we'll just go through some of the responses on what the people in this area are saying about these attacks and of course the killings. We're having Uzia Nyombi, who is saying not yet known who is behind the killing, but unknown people just came and attacked the police and the UPDF, and so in self-defense they killed the attackers. And we also have Alan Praise, who is saying government released a report and called them ethnic clashes between the majority Bakonzo attacking the minority Basongora and Bamba. But I, however, strongly doubt this because, for example, some of the tribes have disassociated themselves from this claim. Further, when you see a large number of the dead, most were not known by the local people in the 3 districts. And I also fail to understand why the government rushed at burying these dead people in a mass grave without even publicizing their origin. I also wonder why the Bakonzo, who are originally from Kasese district, which is in question, are alleged to be attacking almost where everyone is being killed. And well, it's quite a disturbing situation. There's someone else who is saying here that the government rushed concluding without thorough investigations. I therefore think it must be something political that the government is hiding. And of course, there's so many conspiracies going on. We have someone else here who is saying, this is someone called Bwambale. He's saying, in addition, prior to this attack, we had seen almost similar or related attacks in Chegegwa and Mubende districts that are not in the Rwenzori region. So, of course, there's been so many conspiracies about who could be behind the attacks. We've also tried to get a hold of the personal assistant for the Kingdom of Rwenzururu, where the Rwenzori killings are happening mainly, but I think there's a network problem between Kenya and Uganda at the moment. But well, we'd like to say thank you all for watching the show. I'm Joy Doreen Bira. Have a good afternoon.